Your joints feel stiff the moment you get out of bed. Your mind takes longer to focus, like it's working through fog. This might seem like normal aging, but surprisingly, your daily cheese might be part of the problem. That familiar slice you add to your sandwich or sprinkle on a salad may be quietly working against your body in ways you never expected. Cheese is often seen as safe, even wholesome. It's rich in calcium, it feels natural, and it brings comfort. For many of us, it has been part of our routine for decades. But after 60, the way your body responds to certain ingredients changes. What once helped you feel full and satisfied might now trigger inflammation, digestive issues, or even brain fog, all without any clear warning sign. Hello, I'm Vernon. For over 25 years, I worked with older adults, guiding them through the physical and emotional realities of aging. My focus was always on nutrition, movement, and helping people make confident, informed decisions about their health and lifestyle. But even with all that experience, I overlooked something simple in my own morning routine, something I thought was harmless. Every day, I would spread a thick layer of cream cheese on toast, thinking it was a better choice than processed foods or sugary cereals. It wasn't fried or overly sweet, so it felt like a simple, comforting decision I didn't need to question. That one habit, so familiar and consistent, felt almost like a small act of self-care to start each day on the right foot. Everything felt harmless until the stiffness in my hands, the foggy mornings, and the quiet frustration of forgetting why I'd walked into the kitchen began to show up more often. I blamed it on age at first. But when the symptoms became more frequent, I decided to get checked out at the hospital. After running some tests and finding no major issues, the doctor suggested I take a closer look at my daily habits, especially my diet. What I discovered changed everything. Some cheeses can protect your bones, support brain function, and improve digestion after 60. Others quietly increase inflammation, raise sodium levels, and interfere with how your body absorbs calcium and other essential nutrients. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 types of cheese that support healthy aging and 3 that might be silently holding you back, even if everything else in your diet feels clean and balanced. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the guidance your body deserves. This channel is built for you for smarter choices, sharper minds, and stronger bodies that carry you forward with clarity and strength. So now, let's start with the 3 cheeses that have been quietly helping older bodies feel better for centuries. 1. Goat cheese, a quiet ally for healthy aging. Goat cheese is one of the most underrated superfoods for seniors. It's creamy, flavorful, and surprisingly easier to digest than most cow's milk cheeses. That makes it a powerful ally for anyone over 60 dealing with subtle gut issues or post-meal discomfort. Unlike traditional cheese made from cow's milk, goat cheese contains less lactose and smaller fat globules, which your body can break down more efficiently. It also provides high-quality protein and calcium, without the heavy sodium load found in processed varieties. Even better, fresh goat cheese often contains beneficial probiotics that support gut health, reduce inflammation, and help your body absorb nutrients more effectively. One study published in the Journal of Dairy Science found that goat milk proteins enhanced calcium bioavailability and improved bone metabolism in older adults. That means better support for bone density without the digestive strain. Judith, a retired librarian from Oregon, decided to switch to goat cheese after struggling with bloating and joint pain for years. She had been eating soft processed cheeses out of habit, believing they were light and easy to digest. After a nutritionist encouraged her to try goat cheese instead, she made the switch gradually over a few weeks. Almost immediately, she noticed fewer digestive issues, reduced inflammation, and an improvement in how her joints felt during her morning walks. The change wasn't dramatic overnight, but it was consistent, and that gave her the confidence to stick with it. She felt lighter, more mentally alert, and genuinely surprised that such a small change could make such a noticeable difference. So, If you're looking for a cheese that's gentle on your stomach and good to your bones, goat cheese is a smart place to start. Sometimes all it takes is one simple change to shift how your body feels and how your day begins. Tap like if Judith's story resonates with you, and subscribe for more practical ways to support senior health naturally. 2. Feta cheese that works with your body. Have you ever wondered why people living in Mediterranean countries tend to age with more strength and fewer chronic conditions? One key reason lies in their daily diet, and feta cheese plays a quiet but powerful role. Made from sheep's milk or a blend of sheep and goat milk, feta is naturally lower in lactose, making it easier to digest for aging stomachs. According to a study published in Frontiers in Nutrition, traditional diets rich in fermented dairy like feta were linked to reduced systemic inflammation in adults over 65. Researchers also observed improved bone mineral density and greater microbiome diversity in older participants who consumed it regularly. That combination, low lactose, high calcium, and probiotic support, makes feta one of the most functional cheeses for elderly nutrition. Its brined preparation also reduces the need for preservatives or artificial processing, which is often where inflammation begins. Patricia didn't grow up with feta. At 68, she first tasted it during a family trip to Greece, where crisp salads came topped with nothing more than a few vibrant, salty cubes of cheese. It surprised her how satisfying that simplicity felt: fresh, clean, and deeply nourishing. Once she returned home, feta became a quiet staple sprinkled daily on vegetables, soups, or folded into warm omelets. Within a few weeks, she noticed fewer digestive issues and more steady energy during her morning walks. Feta may not have the richness of aged cheeses, but for seniors looking to support bone strength, digestion, and gentle nutrition after 60, it quietly earns its place on the plate. Feta is a quiet morning, light, refreshing, and easy to enjoy. What follows feels like the golden afternoon, deeper, warmer, and quietly powerful. 3. Parmesan, the one cheese that changed everything. Some flavors don't shout. They linger like memory, like meaning, and they stay with you long after 60. Parmesan is one of them: sharp, aged, and surprisingly essential for calcium intake and bone strength in senior health. Lenora never used to like strong cheeses. At 72, she finally tried Parmesan after her daughter made a salad with just a few shavings on top. It wasn't overwhelming, just sharp, nutty, and unexpectedly satisfying. Now, she keeps a small wedge in the fridge and uses it sparingly over soups, roasted vegetables, or even blended into hummus. It's become her secret way of adding more protein and calcium without feeling like she's trying to eat more dairy. Parmesan may not be soft or creamy, but it delivers high-impact cheese nutrition in small portions, ideal for senior health. Its flavor is concentrated, and so are its nutrients: calcium, protein, and gut-friendly enzymes from long aging. In one clinical review published in Bone Reports, researchers found that higher calcium intake from natural dairy sources like Parmesan was associated with improved bone mineral density in older adults, especially postmenopausal women. More importantly, they noted that the combination of high calcium with easy digestibility made aged cheeses like Parmesan uniquely effective for bone support after 60. So even if you're eating less or avoiding dairy in general, Parmesan allows you to get more from less, which matters deeply as your nutritional needs become more targeted with age. Those who eat Parmesan regularly can comment with a number 5 to show they're already ahead of the curve. You can also share this video with someone who deserves stronger bones and smarter choices in every bite. Of course, not every cheese is helpful. Some bring more harm than healing, especially when eaten daily without question. So now, let's take a closer look at the 3 types that may quietly be working against your health. 1. Processed cheese slices. One to rethink before it becomes routine. They may look harmless, neat, familiar, and ready to melt, but processed cheese slices tell a very different story once you look beneath the surface. Behind the shine lies a mix of emulsified byproducts, synthetic dyes, and sodium overload. In fact, in several countries, these slices don't even meet the legal definition of real cheese. Unlike natural cheeses, they offer low-quality protein and very little calcium, while delivering over 300 milligrams of sodium per slice. When consumed regularly, they quietly raise your sodium load and worsen age-related inflammation, particularly in the heart and kidneys. Many older adults include them in daily meals without realizing how much stress they place on the body over time. Living alone in Michigan, Earl kept his meals simple: toast, soup, and the same shiny cheese slices every afternoon. He wasn't counting sodium or considering protein quality, and he didn't connect his daily fogginess or blood pressure spikes to the cheese. A 2021 study published in Nutrients linked processed cheese and high-sodium dairy products to accelerated cognitive decline in older adults. The research found that consistent intake was strongly associated with increased risk of vascular dementia after the age of 60. These effects were most pronounced in individuals who consumed processed cheese daily without balancing it with nutrient-dense, whole food alternatives. In other words, when cheese quality goes down and sodium goes up, brain health becomes one of the first systems to suffer. Thankfully, there are cheeses that work with your body rather than against it, and one in particular is a Mediterranean staple known for balance, flavor, and senior-friendly nutrition. Sometimes, the most persistent problems come dressed in the mildest forms. This next cheese doesn't look dangerous. That's exactly why it slips through. 2. Cream cheese that quietly works against you. Cream cheese feels innocent. It looks light, spreads easily, and has become a breakfast staple in homes across the world. Many seniors believe it's a better choice than hard cheese, but in reality, it may do more harm than good. Unlike aged cheeses that develop flavor through fermentation, cream cheese is highly processed and lacks the probiotics that support digestion and immunity in older adults. It's often loaded with stabilizers, thickeners, and up to 10% saturated fat per serving, with very little protein or calcium to offer in return. In 2020, researchers at the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that diets high in saturated dairy fat were associated with greater risk of memory loss and impaired cognitive performance in adults over 65. These findings raised questions about the long-term impact of foods like cream cheese on brain health. What makes cream cheese particularly misleading is how it feels smooth, mild, and digestible. It doesn't cause a dramatic reaction, but over time, its poor nutrient density and high fat content can slowly affect your vascular and cognitive health. Raymond, a retired elementary school teacher, used to have a bagel with cream cheese every morning. He avoided meat and fried food, thinking this was his clean breakfast. But in time, he developed persistent brain fog and rising cholesterol symptoms that began to ease only after removing the cheese from his daily routine. In elderly nutrition, foods that feel easy aren't always safe, and cream cheese is a perfect example. For seniors focused on brain health, blood flow, and long-term clarity, it may be wise to limit or avoid it altogether. What's one healthy habit you used to swear by until your body told you otherwise? Share your story in the comments. You might just help someone else make a better choice. Cream cheese can quietly work against your health, but it's not the worst offender. There's another cheese that's even softer, more deceptive, and far more damaging over time. Can you guess which one it is? 3. Cheese spreads and sauces that wears you out. Some of the worst foods for senior health don't taste bad, and they certainly don't feel dangerous. They feel soft, familiar, and easy to swallow, and that's exactly the problem. A 2022 study published in Nutrients and Aging tracked the impact of high-sodium processed cheese products, especially cheese dips and sauces, on vascular health and cognition in adults over 65. The results showed consistent links between frequent consumption and higher risk of memory loss, sodium-related hypertension, and reduced nutrient absorption. What's most alarming is how these products are often labeled light or easy to digest, while hiding a cocktail of sodium, emulsifiers, and stabilizers that can burden the aging digestive system. Unlike aged cheeses that bring beneficial enzymes, cheese sauces are typically pasteurized to the point of being biologically empty. Marta wasn't new to nutrition. In fact, I worked with her nearly a decade ago when she first came in for joint stiffness and fatigue. She made great progress, swapped sugary snacks, drank more water, moved her body again. The energy dips disappeared for a while, but years later, they returned. And this time, the culprit wasn't obvious. We looked closer at what felt safe in her routine. That's when we found it, the cheese spread. Just a few spoonfuls a day, but loaded with sodium and zero nutrient value. Processed cheese sauces and spreads often fly under the radar because they don't feel indulgent or excessive. Because they feel so easy and harmless, these spreads can quietly unravel years of effort toward brain health and balance. The trouble is, it doesn't feel like a mistake until the damage starts to show up where you least expect it. Let's wrap this up with a clear picture, one that can sit with you every time you open the fridge. The 3 cheeses that support your health after 60 are goat cheese, feta, and aged Parmesan, simple, real, and reliable. All 3 are easier to digest, richer in nutrients, and naturally low in what quietly drains your energy over time. Now, here are the ones worth rethinking: processed cheese slices, cream cheese, and cheese-based dips or spreads. These are high in sodium, low in real nutrition, and more disruptive to digestion, brain health, and bone strength than they seem. I still eat cheese every day, but with intention, not assumption. I treat it the way I treat medicine, just enough to help, never enough to harm. A crumble of feta on warm vegetables, a teaspoon of Parmesan stirred into soup, a slice of goat cheese on a lentil salad. Cheese shouldn't weigh you down. It should carry you forward stronger, lighter, and clearer than the day before. What cheese is sitting in your fridge right now? And are you willing to name it in the comments below? If this video brought you clarity or challenged your habits, hit the like button and make that shift real. Subscribe and turn on notifications for daily science-backed nutrition insights made for bodies over 60. Don't miss our video. Seniors, 3 meats you should never touch, and 3 you must eat for muscle strength. It could change how you shop this week. You can find the link in the description below.